Good afternoon, and welcome to an event that all of you have been highly anticipating, your graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. As we were walking in today, Anuncia, our student speaker, said, "It's finally here." That's right. I'm Dr. Joanne Wilson, the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and on behalf of everyone here, I welcome you to today's ceremony. Would you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of the National Anthem, which will be led today by Dana Gerhartz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Graduates, today you become part of another special family, that being the UW-Platteville alumni. This is the 201st Commencement ceremony at UW-Platteville, where more than 57,000 graduates have earned their diploma. It's feeding? I'll wait. Congratulations to all of our candidates here today. Throughout the day, we will salute graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, the College of Graduate Studies. We saluted this morning the graduates from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, and this afternoon, we will have a third ceremony for the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. In all, we have 543 undergraduate and 127 graduate candidates in the three ceremonies. As for today's ceremony, we will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, our principal speaker, and our chancellor. We'll recognize some special people, and finally, we will present the candidates for graduation, I promise. So each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent our graduating seniors. This year's speaker is Anuncia Anusia traveled more than 8,100 miles from her hometown of Lubumbashi, which is a population of 1.8 million, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, to attend UW-Platteville. Despite the enormous differences between her native city and Southwest Wisconsin, she thrived inside and outside of the classroom. Anusia carries a 3.77 grade point average and will graduate with 2 degrees, a Bachelor of Science with a Criminal Justice major and a Bachelor of Art with a Political Science major. She will also finish with a minor in International Studies. I'm just going to say wow. She works on campus, serves as a mentor in the urban ministry in Madison, had an internship with the city manager's office in the city of Platteville, and she is involved in several clubs and organizations on our campus. Please welcome Anusia Martins.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I start my speech, I would like to share a joke. Most of my colleagues, they know this joke. As an international student, I try to get out of things. And I say this, Professor Travis, in my country, I don't do this. And of course, he says, this is America, so. What was once a dream is now reality, and you should all be proud of it. I would like us to take a moment and look around. This audience, family, friend, faculty, staff members, and more made this day a reality. I want us to give them a round of applause as a symbol of our gratitude. We all made it despite the challenges, fear, and uncertainties. Take a step back and think of your first day, or even week, on campus as freshmen. We experienced all sorts of emotions, but we all had a dream that kept us going to class every day. I too had a dream that kept me going when I was losing hope. This chapter of our lives is ending and a new one is beginning. Some have secured a job in the company, some are going to grad school, and some do not know yet the next step. Whatever your path is, I want you to keep these 3 things in mind. Never lose hope, find your circle of support, and learn every day. I grew up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which can be classified as a third world country. There, I witnessed a lot of corruption. I was fortunate to have parents who provided for me and my sibling and made sure we did not find ourselves in a position where we had to compromise our values. My mother worked really hard to ensure that my sibling and I got the education she did not have. And she happens to be here today. Thank you, Mama. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be standing here today. Merci, Maman. C'est grâce à ton labeur, à tes sacrifices, que je me tiens debout ici, célébrant mon accomplissement académique. So guys, I haven't seen my mom in 5 years, so bear with me. Every one of us is here today because family supported us in a way or another. Never take that support for granted. Always acknowledge and thank people who support and believe in you. This is where it all began. I knew I wanted to be a lawyer from a young age and lend my voice to those who cannot be heard despite the multiple cries for help. How could I enjoy an easy life while others are sweating for the basic need caused by a corrupted system? This dream gives me a purpose, and that purpose has never left my mind for a single day. My journey as an international student began 5 years ago when I packed my belongings and embarked on a journey of more than 8,000 miles. It was scary to be in a new environment. As an international student, there are certain things I had to do to maintain my status and enrollment. I had to maintain a good GPA and could only work for certain numbers of hours per week. So my only substantial revenue was my mother's job back in the Congo. Unfortunately, in 2014, my country experienced a series of political tensions that impacted my mother's income negatively. In the midst of all the troubles and economic hardship, I never lost hope, because that is what got me here in the first place. As we are embarking on the next journey, we will face situations where we will feel like there is no way out. But I want to assure you there is a way out. Take a deep breath, search for that hope within you, carry yourself up, and keep moving. My second lesson is to build your circle of support. Being new to a country with a different culture than what I was accustomed to was the most challenging adjustment I had to and still have to work on. I said goodbye to everything I know and hold dear. Said goodbye to my friend, my family, community, extracurricular organization. These things give us a sense of belonging, and they help us navigate life through storms. Through the ups and downs, I quickly learned that building the circle of support is really important. It was uncomfortable to make the first move. I have to brave the language barrier and make friends with people sitting next to me in class, join organization, talk to my professor, and give back to my community. But that first move was worth it. Through that circle of support, I became friends with my professor, who helped and guided me throughout this path. They encouraged me to pursue my dream, even when it seemed impossible. I met a lot of people. My sister loves to tell me, "Anusia, you know everyone." Yes, I do. No, I'm just kidding. But those friends can relate to you on so many levels, academically, emotionally, and even financially. I cannot tell you how many times I had my moment of breaking, which most of you can relate to, and those friends helped me put back together the broken pieces. You are here today because someone gave you something. Maybe a teacher invested their time into building your critical thinking. A friend or family member boosted you while believing in you. In return, give back to those in need. Get involved in your community and impact someone's life. And finally, my last lesson is to encourage you to learn something new every day. On my first day of my senior year, my professor, who happens to be here, said something in class. He said, "There is always something new to learn every day." This quote stuck with me for the rest of the day, and I wrote it down in my journal. My time here has been nothing but a constant process of learning. I've learned a lot about myself, my dream, my passion, humanity, and more. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. This new chapter will be challenging, frustrating, intimidating, but fulfilling. You might be scared to make a mistake or scared to ask for help, but remember, you can never learn by turning around or being scared of making those mistakes. Make mistakes, ask for help, do something new, and learn from it. French poet Anatole France once said, "To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only dream, but also believe." As you are celebrating this achievement, ready to embark on the next chapter, keep that dream burning, work hard, and believe in your ability to accomplish it. Above all, remember to never lose hope, to build your circle of support, and to keep learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Anusio, for those wonderful words. Oh, she got me a little emotional. Today's principal speaker is Dr. Layla Rack. In 1985, Dr. Layla Rack founded her consulting company, Rack Enterprises, specializing in assisting executives in advancing their leadership strategies and building effective and efficient teams. She serves as a trusted advisor to senior level executives at many leading companies in the U.S. She is a 1976 graduate. In addition to becoming an entrepreneur after graduation, Dr. Rack worked in higher education as a university educator. She served as dean at several top hospitality and tourism programs, and during her tenure at New York University, her leadership ability resulted in the creation of one of the world's most innovative graduate and undergraduate programs in the business of hospitality, sports, and tourism. Please welcome Dr. Layla Rack.
Chancellor Shields, Interim Dean Gormley, honored guests, parents, spouses, and family. It is wonderful to be with you on this glorious occasion. And now to the reason we are here today. Graduates, congratulations on a grand achievement. Another round of applause. This calls for a celebration which this ceremony represents. It calls for a celebration which the pride of your family and friends represent. And it calls for a party which some of you began prior to this event and will continue after. Cheers to all. For the undergraduates, by earning your bachelor's degree, you have completed one of life's milestones. For the master's students, it is further evidence of your desire to make a mark on this world. I, too, as you heard, am a proud graduate of UWP and the College of Liberal Arts and Education. In fact, all my sisters and brothers graduated from UW-Platteville, making it a family affair. It gave each of us the foundation for our professional lives. My time at Platteville took a little longer than perhaps some of you, as it took me 5 years. This was primarily because for my first 3 years, I enjoyed the social development aspects of being in college far more than I did the routine of going to class, studying, and learning about my chosen field of study. I must have misunderstood during freshman orientation, because rather than majoring in the social sciences for the first 3 years, I majored in social, period. So let me tell you a little bit about my story, as it is the foundation that propelled me. I grew up in Spring Green, Wisconsin, a small town about an hour from here. I am the middle child of 5. My dad worked at the Badger Ammunitions Plant in Baraboo. My mom primarily worked in the home, but for a few years worked side by side with my parent, my dad, at a bar and grill they owned. I was raised to do better than my parents, to obtain a college degree which they did not have, and to imagine success they could never embrace. Following college, I held managerial positions in the hotel industry, and when it became time for me to become a general manager, I went back to school to earn an MBA. This event altered everything in my life. It changed my career path, and I began a 30-year odyssey in higher education. Subsequently, I served as a director and dean at universities in Washington, D.C., Connecticut, New York City, and Wisconsin. My longest tenure was in New York City at NYU, where I am the founding dean of a center for rising disciplines of sports management, hospitality business, and tourism. I've established a consulting business that has taken me around the world, working with family businesses, Fortune 100 companies, global brands, and startups. And so today I thought I would offer thoughts on what has mattered and challenged me as I built a successful career. But then it struck me, what can a 60-something old woman tell you on this your day of achievement? Why would it even matter to you? What could we possibly have in common as you're at the beginning of your career and I am not? So think about it. Those of you in your 20s, regardless of where you grew up, you were connected, aware of the world, while I thought Spring Green was the world. Regardless of your family's economic status, you likely had access to the internet, while my family was so proud to have a color TV. You are comfortable with apps that show you what your dog is doing, that let you see your front door when someone delivers a package, that opens your car door. While growing up in Spring Green, we didn't lock our front doors because they didn't have locks. And my dad kept his keys in the car because they were car keys. There's more, but I believe, but I do believe this. I believe our differences, regardless of our age and our backgrounds, are mainly surface, and we can relate over what matters. See, you may be physically different than me. You could be taller than me, have a different color hair. You could be a different gender. Your skin color may be different. But when it comes to what matters, what is inside, where our dreams and our hopes reside, we are likely just the same. And based on that, I have something to say beyond congratulations on crossing over one of the many finish lines of your life. It was here in my philosophy class with Dr. Moore that I was exposed to ideas and constructs that blew my mind. I heard and read ideas that were far removed from what I thought. It was not that I had to shed what I knew, rather it was that I had to expand and consider what I didn't know. I needed to learn how to think. I still find that a really unusual statement, as we all think, but most of us only do so on the surface. Should I spend my last $30 going out tonight or not? We focus on the immediate and mostly inconsequential. And what a liberal arts education did for me was engage me in the process of thinking through ideas before I made a decision. It forced me to consider aspects that I was not comfortable with, that frankly I had never cared about. It gave me the basis for being a better professional. And so among your greatest challenge will be the battle against mediocrity, of knowing you could do better, but instead you stop caring or you become bored or decide not to try. In other words, the passion you had dissipates, and what you thought was the best choice changes and frustration sets in. But be that individual who decides not to be mediocre, who decides to be her best, for that person can impact others and inspire loyalty. Be someone willing to risk, and when you don't succeed, take that lesson learned and analyze another way forward that is smarter, better developed. In this age of hype and artifice, we need people who help us be better versions of ourselves. You can do that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to a singular complex question. Are you willing to believe in yourself, in your abilities to achieve? Plan, but do not be a slave to your plan. Keep your eyes wide open so you do not miss the wonder of challenges that will test you and propel you forward to being far more than you are today. As a student of history, I have learned that most people who became great people failed and failed spectacularly before they achieved amazingly. Embrace the road. Use your ability to reason and to imagine. Allow yourself time to enjoy your mind. Believe that you can impact and influence those around you, that this is what makes a career and subsequently defines your passion for living. I wish you the very best, and again offer my sincere congratulations on earning your degree from my alma mater, UW-Platteville. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rack, for those inspiring words. I now ask that Dan Smith, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the alumni lifetime memberships.
Thank you, Provost Wilson. By your graduation here today, you are now part of a special group, UW-Platteville alumni. And you are not alone. I now ask that all the alumni that are here today to proudly stand if you're able, or wave your hand if you're unable, to be recognized. Come on, don't be shy. I, along with the alumni here today, would officially like to welcome you, the class of 2018, as UW-Platteville alumni. Thank you. The UW-Platteville Alumni Association annually recognizes outstanding graduates with Honorary Lifetime Pioneer Award by awarding them lifetime membership in the Alumni Association. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities and leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, academic excellence, and probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. Today we recognize as the College of LAE's Alumni Association lifetime membership recipients, Jeff Cheeley and Sydney Hallbeck. Jeff is not able to attend today, but we'd ask Sydney Hallbeck to stand. Congratulations to Jeff and Sydney. The School of Graduate Studies Alumni Association lifetime membership recipient this year is Barbara McDonald. Barbara, who is in the United States Navy and lives in Gibraltar, could not be here today, but let's give her a round of applause as well.
Thank you, Dan. Chancellor Dennis J. Shields is in his 9th year at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During that time, he has guided the campus through tremendous growth in programs, resources, and facilities. Most recently, he piloted an impressive effort to gain legislative and gubernatorial approval to build a new $55 million state-of-the-art engineering facility on campus, as well as a remodel of our Babel Hall at $23.7 million. The Babel Hall renovation will begin this next June. We are also going to be opening a new addition to this building, the Williams Fieldhouse, next month, and we are very excited and anticipating that opening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chancellor Dennis J. Shields.
Good afternoon. Oh, we can do better. Good afternoon. Great. Always got to make sure you're out there. It is indeed a great day to be a pioneer. And it is a privilege to be here to honor the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduating class of 2018. Congratulations. And thank you to the faculty and staff who are here today and who have taught these students and advised them and supported them and counseled them. Your jobs, your passion are what made this day possible for these students. Also, to family and friends, thank you for the work you have done with these and for these students and the support and encouragement you provided for them during their time here. Your efforts and your belief in their future was critical to the success these graduates are enjoying today. Graduates, you have now completed your undergraduate training, almost. There's finals next week. I am proud of you for working hard, being disciplined, for maintaining the vision of your goal. Well done. Now, I expect and hope that each of you have a desire to go out into the world and make a positive difference in your life, in the lives of others, and in the world. And I know that you can make a positive difference if you apply the same kind of consistent daily effort that you demonstrated as a student at this university. While you were a student on this campus, you worked hard, and you maintained some core values that guided you through all of the challenges each of you faced on your journey to this point. While here, you overcame challenges. When you encountered tough hurdles, you did not give up. Rather, you persevered because you stayed focused and believed achieving your goal was important. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, as the chancellor of your alma mater, I am compelled to offer you some advice as you leave this campus and begin your life's journey. Essentially, I'm going to advise you to do in life what you have practiced here at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. And I do this because I hope and believe that you can be extraordinarily successful, and because your efforts will make a huge difference in the changes needed in our society. Now, I suggest that you will be able to make a positive difference in the world if you, first, are committed to being a lifelong learner, and second, that you dedicate yourself to your core values like civility, honesty, integrity, hard work, and empathy. So let me explain why I say this and what I mean. We are, in fact, living in extraordinary times. Change is happening at an ever-quickening pace, and it seems we live in an ever more polarized society. So how will you cope with the pace of change? How can you reduce the polarization in our society and help to create collective positive solution? The answer, I believe, is to commit to being a lifelong learner and being dedicated to your values. Let me start with some information I learned from an expert on workforce trends, Heather E. McGowan. McGowan puts it this way: the old model of work was in 3 life blocks. Get an education, use that education for 40 years, then retire. Later, the model became get an education, use it for 20 years, get retrained, use that for 20 more years, and then retire. But McGowan explains that neither model works today. As the pace of change accelerates, she suggests that we commit to lifelong learning. Why? Because the most successful companies and the most resilient workers, the ones who can adapt to change, are the ones who will be successful and make a difference in the world. Today, it is also the case that we live in communities that are less and less homogeneous. By that I mean our neighbors and friends are likely to have lived their lives in different environments and in different contexts. New people have moved into our localities, and today our workplaces are global and don't just include folks from our own local communities with whom we already agree. Because there is now a broader diversity of life experiences in our communities, it means the opinions represented in our communities will be more diverse. We need to be prepared to listen to varied viewpoints, to take them into consideration, and integrate them into the collective solutions we create for our communities and in response to changing technology in the workplace. Recently, Valerie Strauss of the Washington Post asked several notable people what was important for college students to know or learn during these extraordinary times. In response to Strauss's inquiry, filmmaker Ken Burns responded, "Some thoughts for students who are confronted with a difficult but hugely exciting time to help educate them. They should respect people with different opinions, read everything you can find, follow your passion, and listen even when you disagree. A willingness to learn new things will strengthen your understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of your views in the eyes of others, and with a deeper understanding and new evidence, allow you to adapt and change in positive ways. Learning new things will prepare you to tackle new challenges in the workplace and to find out what you have in common with newcomers to your communities and to communicate effectively with them." Another person who responded to the Washington Post inquiry was historian Alex Kershaw. He said, "As a British immigrant to the United States, I would suggest that the most important lesson to teach from American history today is that diversity has always been this country's greatest strength. It is a nation of immigrants of all faiths drawn from around the globe. It is a nation based on the most noble of ideals." Too often today, we are so certain of our views and interests that it becomes difficult to respond to the concerns and perspectives of others. We are so focused on achieving our personal goals that we justify using whatever means it takes to get our way. Winning, it seems, has become our definition of success. The winner-takes-all method is not sustainable. We would do well to leverage what Kershaw cites as our greatest strength, diversity of opinion, especially today, to create thriving communities in this changing environment where opinions are diverse, but our goals and needs are the same. You will do well to be willing to engage in diverse opinions. Being dedicated to our values will allow you to do this. If we respect others and exercise compassion, civility, honesty, and empathy, we will be willing and able to hear diverse opinions and to integrate them with your own ideas and to create industry and community solutions that work for everyone. In short, being a lifelong learner and someone dedicated to values will give you the ability to make positive differences in the world. Let me share a couple of real-world examples of what I'm talking about. The first one is about a graduate of this university, someone like you, graduated 4 or 5 years ago. He recently emailed me. The email was driven by experience this person had as a student here. During his time here, he had served as a writer and editor for The Exponent. Now, The Exponent every year, I think each semester, produces a satirical issue, and he contributed to one, and in it, he satirized me. Now, just to be clear, I think part of my job is to be willing to take criticism. It's kind of the cost of doing business when you sign up to be the chancellor. But he explained in the email that he realized in hindsight what he wrote was not satirical nor funny. Instead, it was, in his words, disrespectful and intolerant. He even recalled that a classmate had confronted him about his inappropriate commentary at the time, but he had dismissed her criticism because he thought she just couldn't take a joke. However, he reported that since graduation, he had thought about his assumptions and learned that some of them were not true. He'd engaged in some self-reflection and changed his mind about what he wrote in The Exponent. He realized that the article he wrote didn't promote unity on this campus, something that he values, and that in fact his article did the opposite. He regretted it and decided that he needed to apologize to the campus and to me, and so he did. His email went on to explain that he was having success at making a positive difference in his community by engaging, listening to, and valuing everyone who wanted to have input. He seemed confident that he and his community were the better for it. Now let me give you a little different example, more national in scope. Dan Crenshaw is a former Navy SEAL who was recently satirized on Saturday Night Live. Comedian Pete Davidson joked about Crenshaw's military service and made fun of his eye patch, which covers an injury he suffered while serving in Afghanistan 6 years ago. Not surprisingly, this got people upset, and they wanted Crenshaw to be upset, to complain loudly, and to ask for Davidson's resignation or firing. But I think critically, Crenshaw understood that he had a choice. He could, of course, respond with offense and fuel what he calls outrage culture and increase the amount of already existing polarization and misunderstanding. Or he could choose to take a more constructive approach. Mr. Crenshaw decided that a negative response did not align with his values, which prized integrity and civil discourse. So instead, he accepted an opportunity to appear on Saturday Night Live during the Veterans Day celebration. He accepted the show's apology and was able to use the platform to convey a national message of forgiveness and unity. I share these examples because they provide real-world evidence of the advice I'm trying to convey. A University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduate who was able to change his mind, adopt a new paradigm, and make a positive difference because he understands the importance of lifelong learning. And an example from a citizen, Dan Crenshaw, who didn't succumb to peer pressure because it was easier, but instead fostered an environment that facilitated communication and discussion instead of exacerbating the problems that result from polarization and intolerance. So today, I'm asking you to do the same. Commit to lifelong learning and to be dedicated to your values, such as civility, honesty, integrity, hard work, and empathy. I'm asking that you be like your fellow graduate and be willing to keep learning and to change your mind when your values tell you that is what you should do. And I'm suggesting you might foster communication when you have a chance, even when it's difficult, so that you can help to create solutions that take all members into consideration and have a positive impact on your communities. Now, I know if you take my advice today, it will probably not make your life easier. In fact, it will likely make your life more difficult. You will have to keep learning, reading and watching new material, and investigating new ideas. You will have to engage with people who you might not be inclined to engage with. And you will have to adopt opinions that some of your closest friends and colleagues will disagree with. I offer that, like the challenges you encountered as you work towards graduation, that these life challenges will be worth it because they will allow you to achieve your goals and to make a positive impact on the world. Finally, as I recommend to every graduating class, engage your communities. Serve on the school board or on the city council or volunteer at your church. Coach a youth sports program or become a mentor. Do the practical things to make life better for those around you. While you are doing this, commit to lifelong learning, to being values-driven, and to promoting understanding. You do indeed have great opportunities ahead of you. We're proud and pleased for you. You are part of why every day, every week, and every year is a great day to be a pioneer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. You may wonder what the different colored stoles and cords are around many of our students and our graduates. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flags of their home countries. UW-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flags of the countries where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies have also bestowed different color stoles and pins on their graduates, representing additional extracurricular and high-impact practice learning. And I would point out that there are a lot of stoles and cords around some of these necks. I don't know if any of you ever slept. You certainly were very, very busy, and congratulations. I want to call special attention to those wearing the gold honor cords. These gold cords are worn by students who have received academic honors. Students with honors are also designated with asterisks in your commencement program. We're going to recognize our honor students now. Each year, the colleges are asked to recognize their valedictorians, students with a high grade point average as well as outstanding accomplishments. For the College of Liberal Arts and Education, we ask the 2018 valedictorian Sydney Halbach to stand. Congratulations, Sydney. Students who have between a 3.75 and a 4.0 earn summa cum laude honors. Would those students please stand? You may be seated. And students who have earned a 3.5 to 3.74 grade point average earn magna cum laude honors. Would all of those who have that range of grade point average please rise? Congratulations to all of our honor students. As we move forward, many people always ask about the lovely regalia, our commencement regalia, that all of our faculty are wearing. It's always a beautiful rainbow of colors up here in the front couple of rows. So let me tell you about the regalia that they are wearing today. Each faculty member has a different style of gown and accessory depending on his or her field and level of education. For a PhD, the hood is large and colorful and has a silk patch and a velvet patch. And the silk patch is usually the colors of the institution that gave the degree, and the velvet tells you what kind of degree that it is. The doctoral gown has a black velvet strip, although I'm noticing a lot of blue strips lately, that extend down the front, as well as 3 black velvet stripes across the sleeves. For the master's degree, the hood is the same length as the doctor's hood, but doesn't fully expose the lining, and the velvet edge is not as wide, and they always have very interesting sleeves as well. Faculty and staff wear the colors of the institution that granted the highest degree that they've been awarded. So now it's the time that all of you have been waiting for. So everyone wake up. It's time to meet our graduates. Would all of the individuals who are candidates for bachelor's degrees, we'll take care of you folks later, please stand. Chancellor Shields, as provost and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, and upon completion of the prescribed curricula, are entitled to receive their degrees from the UW-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and with authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto.
And now, undergraduates, please take your tassel and move it from the right to the left on your mortarboard, as you are now a UW-Platteville graduate. please be seated. We know that this is an exciting time for everyone in the house, so I ask that everyone show respect for our graduate and also for those that are seated near you. So please make sure that those excessive artificial noisemakers don't interfere with your neighbors' enjoyment of hearing their graduates' names. Registrar David Kiekafer is going to read the names of the candidates. So I ask that Dr. Melissa Gormley, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, come forward.
Good afternoon. Chancellor Shields and Provost Wilson, as Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelors of Science. Candidates, please begin coming forward.
No? Is the mic on now? There we go. Anuncio V.D. Martins. Carrie Elizabeth Abbey. Brianna J. Austin. Caitlin Cecilia Benovich. Bethany O. Bartow. Zachary S. Bartz. Jonathan J. Behringer. Douglas J. Bradley. Mariah Christine Brown. Ashley Marie Buchanan. Michaela M. Casey. Megan Eileen Chiloni. Drake M. Coleman. Matthew Allen Dake. Harmony Ann Danielson. Keely Irene Denton. Lynn Kesson Dewall. Jacob Ryan Dickman. Amanda Lynn Doyle. Samuel P. Drury. Aisha Elena Durst. Chelsea S. Zaboff. Ezekiel J. Eisenhower. Mariah Sky Enerson. Tyler Milton Vager. Billy Joe Finnegan. Kendall Ann Foley. Christopher A. Geenan. Daniel Gear. Lauren M. Geisel. Janessa Marie Getlin. Zoe H. Gosmeyer. Emily Marissa Grunwald. Brianne Nicole Gunderson. Dana R. Gerhards. Hannah Rose Haginian. Sydney Marie Hallbeck. Hannah L. Harried. Coel Marie Hoffland. Kelsey Ann Holland. Jenna Mary Orr. Felicity R. Hughes. Elizabeth Mehta Hunkuski. Valerie E. Hunt. Anthony F. A. Husett. Brianna Marie Iwans. Elise Marie Johnson. Holly Ann Johnston. Samantha Jo Jones. Alicia Ann Caston. Kendra L. Call. Chandler J. Kaser. Walter J. Kasmer. Nicholas Alexander Kelly. Sarah J. Kerr. Jesse J. Kirstner. Kaylee Ray Pakowski. Christine M. Konechny. Austin C. Kopp. Cody Edward Crable. Tammy J. Lamfers. Sang Lee. Levi J. Linscheid. Autumn Nicole Lowe. Rebecca J. Marchant. Jennifer R. Merrick. Abby Nicole Mastera. Cassidy Ann Masterson. Kyle Andrew Matson. Zachariah Jonathan May. Decker J. McCabe. Ashley Rose McCarville. Carrie Jo McManus. Devin Ray Meaden. Kylie Marie Moneypenny. Robin Murphy. Eric Joseph Nables. Donovan L. Nathaniel. Wynn T. Nice. Jennifer Megan Nix. Anna Marie O'Hearn. Benjamin S. Olson. Kyle Robert Patterson. Renee Ann Peters. Paula Renee Pitts. Nina Marie Archely Pohl. Natasha Renee Howell. Jacob T. Ryder. Sage D. Schrader. Jacob T. Showalter. Trevor William Smet. Jill Ann Smith. Heather A. Valenti. Jessica M. Wagner. Caitlin Ann Walker. Audrey L. Wadig. Taylor Jean Warren. Peter Andrew Wilkinson. Alexis Mary Helen Wilson. Rebecca Ruth Wolfgram. Dong Hee Wan. Nali Zong. Austin J. Young. Alicia M. Zaremba.
Would all of the individuals who are candidates for the Master of Science and the Master of Science in Education degree please stand? Chancellor Shields, as provost and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the Master of Science and the Master of Science in Education. And upon completion of the prescribed curricula, they are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto.
You may be seated. And I now ask Dr. Craig Wilson, Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, to come forward. And I apologize that I did not catch the program. It actually has our former Dean of Graduate Studies, Chanaka Mendes, still listed, so I apologize, Greg.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education please stand? Okay. Chancellor Shields and Provost Wilson, as Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education. And now, master degree candidates, please begin coming forward to receive your hoods.
Mutai Abu Adas. Kevin John Annison. Logan M. Biggs. Lisa M. Bowen. Sherry Lynn Caves. Nicole LaGeorgia Chambers. Catherine Rose Church. Jennifer Lynn Clark. Adam T. Clayton. Hannah Decker. Zachary T. Flatley. Joel Kent Flores. Brenda Christine Gill. Julie K. Heisler. Sean J. Hart. Mandy Christina Henkel. Mary J. Hoffman. Marcy Lynn Ingham. Trevor Blaine Catry. Jackie Clare. Deborah Lynn McCullough. Maureen Sherry McDonald. Jessica Nautigal. Rachel L. Nelson. Kirk S. Nichols. Fabrice Nyanjo. Nathan P. Olson. Ambrose Paust. Bethany Marie Payne. Luis Recall. Muhammad Ramel. Ronald Sackett, Jr. Eric L. Schubring. Joel B. Shoemaker. Elizabeth A. Simmons. Gary A. Sislo. Raymond L. Taylor. Jan Weffler. Nicholas S. Werner. Max David Wickmer. Serena R. Wiesner. Terrence Will. Kyle A. Wilford. Allison Marie Winetsky. Christopher S. Worth. Sherry Joyce Yates. Jamal Bashir Yunus.
Congratulations to all of our undergraduate and graduate students. You may be seated. Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. I would like to thank the following people: the Commencement Committee, led by Ian Drager, Commencement Marshal, Dr. Rhea Kirk, from the School of Education, Registrar David Kiekafer, who read the names, the student ambassadors who served as ushers, the Symphonic Wind Ensemble, led by Professor Emeritus Dan Fairchild. Thank you so much for the music, and thank you, Dan, for stepping in for us today. I know it was hard for all of us. Media Technology Services and the Division of University Relations. May all those that I just mentioned please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Sitting in front of the stage is a group who has taught, advised, and so much more for the graduating class. Would the UW-Platteville faculty and staff please stand and be honored today? None of this would have been possible without this last group, who's helped our graduates throughout their college careers and indeed their entire lives. With the families and friends of the December 2018 graduates, please stand and be recognized. Now, please turn to page 40 of your commencement program from the alma mater, led by Dana Gerhardt, and could we please stand for our alma mater?
Alma mater, grand and glorious, we shall ever be victorious. Loyal are we to you, dear Platteville pioneers,
Please be seated. The commencement ceremonies have been recorded and they are available for on-demand viewing on the campus website. Please remain seated until our faculty have left the gymnasium. Once they have reached the lobby, the graduates will be dismissed and they can join their families and friends. The flags representing all of the countries from which our students hail are displayed out in the main lobby for pictures, and the college banner will quickly travel out that way as well. That concludes our ceremony. Once again, congratulations to all of you. Oh, excuse me, I was getting a little teared up. Please start the recessional. Graduates, you're now dismissed. Please find your family and friends, and once again, congratulations.
There we go. Very good. Great singing. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better spot. Oh, put it down, sing.